and down here is going to be the inferior sagittal sinus. So we have the superior sagittal sinus and the what? Inferior sagittal sinus. The inferior sagittal sinus is going to go back, and it's going to join this vessel right here that looks like it's labeled, it looks like a letter A, okay? This right here is going to be known as the straight sinus. So what's this called? Straight sinus, okay? So the superior sagittal sinus comes down, straight sinus comes across, and it's going to come to this area right here. This area right here is called the confluence of sinuses. You can see the confluence of sinuses here. You can also see the confluence of sinuses right in here. So everybody see that where my finger is? Okay, that's the confluence of sinuses. Look at this model. Here is the superior sagittal sinus. This right here are called arachnoid granulations. Okay, these are called the arachnoid granulations. We saw that when we were going through, when we were talking about the pia, arachnoid, and dura last week. So here is the superior sagittal sinus, and here is the confluence of sinuses. This along here, as you see it moves laterally, is going to be, and has on both sides, is going to be known as the transverse sinus. So it's transverse sinus. You can also see the transverse sinus on this model right here. Does everybody see that? Transverse sinus. Okay. Then, as we look deeper, I like it on this model more on that model. Right in here, we have this S-shaped structure, and this S-shaped structure is called the sigmoid sinus. So this right in here is called the sigmoid sinus. What's it called? Sigmoid. Good. What letter does it look like? Sigmoid begins with what letter? Very good. And then from the sigmoid sinus, we then go into this jelly bean-shaped hole in the skull. And what do we call that jelly bean-shaped hole in the skull? Jugular foramen. Very good. So this is the jugular foramen. Okay? So we have the jugular foramen. What vein is going to go through there? The internal jugular vein, and then from the internal jugular vein, the blood's then going to go back toward the heart. In Anatomy 2, you'll learn more about this circulation. Particularly, if you have me, we're going to go through every bit a piece of it. Okay? You're good.